This is Josh Holmes. John Paul Jones is also here, and Dave Grohl. We're going to go to the second question submitted from the CD 101 audience, and also a winner of a pair of tickets for the show tonight, Doug Wardle. He said, the music history of the three band members offer a great mix of classic and alternative rock. Which, if any, of the three past band styles, Zeppelin, Foo Fighters, Queen, has the most influence on the music of them Crooked Vultures? I tried to read it as
yeah.
Which of your bands has the most influence on the music?
I honestly think there was a minute there when we haven't started, none of us have started new bands in a long time, and where you actually say, well, what should we sound like, you know? And then it quickly became apparent that it doesn't really matter on the decision of what that is. It sounds like what we naturally would sound like. It can't be forced. It can't be. It sounds like the three of us.
You know, it sounds like Josh playing guitar and singing with me playing the drums and John Paul Jones playing bass.
Okay,
that's exactly what it
that's
sounds
exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it would be a natural conversation for you guys to get together and say, okay, before we start, what are we going to do?
Well,
there's a pie graph and target market, demographics.
You can see here on this chart that there's going to be a huge resurgence. No, I think, but there's certainly a legitimate aspect to. We can play what we'd like to hear, and what would we like to hear.
Okay.
But there's no need to pressurize it, is what I think.
It also sounds like us enjoying playing, right? You know, like we go in places that, I mean, I'm doing stuff on the drums that I've never done before because the spirit of the project. It's like, all right, let's really take it somewhere else, you know.
That's terrific. And I was wondering, as I was looking through stuff today and looking through the questions that were submitted and trying to pick the ones that I thought really encapsulated things. Something no one asked, and now that I know that you can say the birth of it was at medieval times, where do you guys rehearse?
Milady. We rehearse at medieval times. That's where all the good bands rehearse.
The horses going around and it's a bit painful sometimes.
Just what's in the mood.
Oh, those crazy nights.
I mean, we haven't actually discussed this, but I know in my old band we never discussed what we were going to do or what we were going to play. We just went with what felt great and what sounded great. And I'm sure that's pretty much the same with Kings and Queens, and that's just kind of what we did this time.
It's a bit of Braille, really, like searching around the dark, you know, trying to find things that you like, you know, and I think one of the things that was real prevalent is that we were all going to, push ourselves and push on each other. You know, the idea was to take what we do and try to do it in a way that we haven't yet. You know, there's going to be elements that people will hear influences of our bands because that's what we are. But I think you also hear us enjoying playing together and trying to go somewhere that we haven't.
Well, on that and what Dave said earlier, the third question from Matt Walker was, what does them Crooked Vultures allow you to do musically that your other respective bands do not?
Playing with Josh and Dave, mainly.
Okay. Taylor won't let me touch his drums, so now I get to go off.
I don't know. No, I think what's interesting is the chemistry, and that's the thing that you always chase. You know, this is really the search for a classic moment. You're playing music, you know, and you have to risk something or you get nothing, you know. And this band is an unsafe musical entity, and I think that everyone wants, all of us want to sort of catapult ourselves into, musical unsafety, take some risks and enjoy playing together. You know? That's what it's about.
You know, I think it's really crazy that, I love the fact that I'm sitting here listening and you come up with lines like, it's always a search for a classical moment. That's terrific, and I love that. That might be the embodiment of what you're doing here.
Well, but isn't that the, whether or not bands do it or not, isn't really that the base obligation? If you're lucky enough to be a musician, your obligation should be to play, it should, at the limit of your ability, you know, and try to go further. You know, if you endorse mediocrity, well then, that sucks.
But also, as a band, you've got to be able to recognise that classical when you hear it, which fortunately we all can. Like, nobody has to explain anything to anybody else. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And everybody knows it. So
You get the feeling in your guts, you know, it's working.
The first time we jammed, I mean, it was pretty apparent within the first, like, 5 minutes that it was gonna work, because it started to feel like that. And when you recognize it, when you're with the right combination of people, and when it really happens, where you either get the chills, or everyone laughs or smiles at the same moment, or you just know, like, everything clicks. It doesn't happen often, you know?
Right.
And those moments are hard to choreograph or create. They usually just kind of happen. And they still happen. They happened last night. They happened the night before that. So when we get up to play, like, that's kind of why we're doing it, is to find those moments. And had we not had that moment in the first 5 minutes of jamming, we probably wouldn't have spent 8 months together making a record, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we kept finding those moments, like, oh my God,
Well, as a song-
that's insane, what is
As the songs progress too, you start going, oh, and then we can, oh,
Yeah.
and excitement builds it like a snowball on a Scooby-Doo cartoon. It just keeps it rolling, getting bigger, you know?
Where was that first session together? Was it at somebody's house?
It was
Was
up-
it out in the
It
desert?
was at my studio
Josh's
in
studio.
Burbank, yeah.
Okay.
Pink Duck Studios.
we don't have that.
Right across the street from the kids' castle. So, I mean, we kind of kept it
It's
pretty.
medieval thing. And
Lady.
in 8 months putting this record together.
Yeah,
what-
but not really, because eight months was the time, but, on the calendar, but really, I think it was about 2.5 months of recording, maybe. And everything being written in the studio.
But you know, because Josh does the desert session stuff, anyone that's familiar with those things,
Yeah.
you know that he goes out to the desert with a bunch of friends and they go get weird for a short period of time and they make a record, you know? And so there was part of me that thought, wow, the three of us will get together and we'll get weird and we'll do it really quick and it'll be kind of fun. But early on, Josh really said, you know, this isn't, I'm not looking at this like this is a desert sessions thing. Like I'm really taking this to another place. This isn't like a little jam session we're doing out in the des. And I've been a fan of Josh's stuff for years, since back in the first Gaius album. And I can honestly say that his writing on this album is, to me personally, is the best stuff he's ever done. Lyrically, musically, it's the best stuff that he's ever done. So for me to get behind there with Jones and be like, you know, I'm like the little rocket pack behind what he's doing, and it's
Little Rocket Band.
great.
This guy drinks more coffee.
Shut up!
He's like Juan Valdez's nephew. and, you know, it's one of those things where the first time we jammed together, I realized, well, damn, this has to work. Or it's like saying the three of us couldn't make something that we wanted to hear. You know, and to a certain extent, what was great about how secretive it was is that it did its best job to alleviate some of the pressure of no big deal, just three of us playing around together, you know, hanging out.
That's great.
It'd be a real shame if this sucked, you know.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's be a problem.
But you know, you can't. All three of us really love it, and so you know, you can't do. That's as far as you can go.
I've gotten so into this conversation. Did we play this song yet?
Not yet.
Let's play this song. This is a song that Josh wanted to hear. Josh, you want to introduce this one? And then I want to get a song that I'd love it if John Paul Jones picked this song.
I'm in a band with guys that have full names. This is Dave Grohl and John Paul Jones, and I'm John.
I'm sorry.
No.
Josh Homme.
No. You don't have to. I don't need that, but it's kind of cool because they're full.
You can call me drummer if you want.
No, I dig it. It's very good. I like it. It's good. It's good, Dave Grohl.
Maybe inappropriate familiarity on my part. All right. Go ahead.
Oh well, this is one of the greatest crazy people in the world. His name's Rock Erickson. This is Cold Night for Alligators.
CD 101.